let's get into this hilarious Genshin Impact boycott that's going on. Quote unquote boycott.
Drama to cover because there is a full-on revolt in a portion of the Genshin Impact community. I believe this is now the 10th boycott of this game started by its own players. Now, why is this happening? Well, recently there was a new region called Natlan that was previewed, and in this preview we saw some new characters being introduced to Genshin Impact, and people on Twitter are very, very upset, claiming this is cultural appropriation as well as whitewashing because the skin tone of these characters is fairer than they would have expected from this fictional region. Yes, my...
It's so hilarious that they think that a Chinese company that's funded by the Chinese government is going to give a fuck about misrepresenting black characters. Like, the naivety.
Condolences to the citizens of Natlan. I hope they get the justice that they deserve in this situation, but this has gotten really, really out of hand to the point where now IGN and other sources like this are making articles covering the situation.
I can appreciate the clickbait IGN is using here. We're just gonna get a waifu looking up at you and showing off her cleavage. You know, just because. I can appreciate that from IGN.
See the headline right here. Genshin Impact is facing more accusations of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, and some of its voice actors are asking publisher Hoyoverse to make changes. So,
do they know that Baizhou is a thing? Do they know that the Chinese are specifically acutely aware of insufferable leftists in the West, and they have a special word for them? It's like they hate you people. Do you think they're going to listen to you?
So here's one of the voice actors joining in on this movement. In a tweet with over 1 million views, they say this: if a game draws so heavily from real-world cultures and bases a character on the supreme deity of the Yoruba religion, and that character ends up looking like pale Sasuke Batman...
Are you fucking kidding me? Like this voice actor had ever heard of the Yoruba religion, you know, until 5 seconds ago. Like, give me a fucking break. You don't give a fuck about the Yoruba religion. She probably couldn't name a single deity in that religion. I sure as fuck can't. Who the fuck knows anything about the Yoruba religion? You know? Also, does this person have the same opinion when it comes to Yasuke? Draws so heavily from real world cultures. I bet this doesn't apply to him.
People are absolutely within their rights to demand better representation, especially when said game has clearly stated commitment to a global audience. I hope y'all keep making your voices heard, and I hope they listen. This is the...
These bitches getting all mad about misrepresentation of African culture. You know, all this does, all they do is they take deities and they turn them into booby waifus. That's all they do. And you know what? As a Christian, I want them to take Jesus and every one of the 12 apostles, and I want Genshin to take Paul, turn him into Paulette, and make him a hot blonde waifu with tall legs, some nice abs, you know, some perky boobs. That's what I want, and I want Genshin Impact to do that to every one of the apostles, and I want Jesus to have the biggest boobs of them all. That's what I want. Because God bless waifu Jesus. God, take the stick out of your ass, you fucking weirdos.
Definition of a first world problem. These people are more angry about the complexion of these characters than they are the actual atrocities being committed by the Chinese government against its own citizens. Like, it's absolutely wild. And looking at this tweet, as a voice actor, why would miHoYo ever want to continue working with you? It is a very terrible look. You are essentially accusing your own boss of cultural appropriation and whitewashing, while also riling up a portion of their fan base that is trying to boycott the game currently. Like, you are actually encouraging people who are hurting the bottom line of the company. Why would they ever want to hire you again? If they're halfway serious, they would realize how bad of a look this is and how much it's actually harming their company. But going forward, a lot of
And plus, we've already seen instances of anime companies ditching VAs and using AI for subtitles and shit. We've already seen it. It's already started. They're already starting to get replaced. They see this happening and they still pull this shit. The self-righteousness is so off the charts. Cringe. It's incredible. I can't imagine having such high levels of arrogance and low levels of self-awareness. It's baffling to me, these people's mentalities. I could see a manga about the second coming of Christ being a waifu. My savior cannot be this cute. Oh, 100%, dude. I would read the fuck out of that. Are you kidding me? Before Paulette converts to Christianity, I want her to round up Christians and try to convert them back to the Roman gods. Like, I mean, that would be lore accurate.
Of people on Twitter are trying many different ways to basically punish MiHoYo and Genshin Impact for what's happening with this new region of the game. I've seen multiple posts like this individual saying this. What if we mass reported Genshin until their account gets banned? Maybe then they'll do something. And
literally just TOS violation. Again, the self-righteousness is so high and the self-awareness is so low. They just like openly proclaim to and encourage and like just breaking the TOS. Like, it's baffling. It's so fucking baffling. People are children. I don't care how old they are. They are mental children.
And what are they reporting these official Genshin Impact accounts for? Hate speech. I regret to inform this individual it is not hate speech to introduce fair-skinned characters into a game. That is not hate speech. In fact, the only person in this scenario that is risking violating Twitter's TOS is this post right here.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is targeted harassment. You can't tell people to falsely report an account until it's banned.
It's also abusing the tools of the platform, which is also against the rules.
That is actually against Twitter's TOS. However, the main account here that a lot of people have been using for this boycott is this HYV Boycott, the official account for the HoYoverse.
Do you imagine
boycott.
being the person?
Yes,
do you imagine being the person who starts this account and manages it? What kind of a fucking pathetic life do you have to actually like be the person to start and maintain this account? Like, God, dude, fucking put the phone down and go play soccer. Jesus Christ.
This is a very, very serious situation right here. So let's check out some of their posts. Here's the first one saying, I think it's safe to say that we have all had enough of the erasure of our cultures and identities. Today, I introduce...
You hadn't heard of any of these cultures or identities until HoYoverse made a land or whatever thing based on them. You don't fucking care.
Due to the Boycott HoYoverse account. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott, spread the word, anything helps. Again, these people are way more angry about this than anything the Chinese government is doing, and it's absolutely insane. But let's see the main post people are clowning on right now. This is a do and don't suggestion of what you can do during this boycott. The things you should do and the things you shouldn't do. And before we get into the actual things listed here, notice that in the do's and don'ts, you will never find any mention of people being told not to play Genshin Impact.
Yep,
at no point does it say, don't play Genshin Impact. The iron will of Twitter activists, right? They can't even stop playing the game that they're boycotting.
Again, that's why I think the average person involved with this boycott is like 12 years old. They don't, they want to feel like they're a part of something. They have cozy, middle class, stable, their parents are cozy middle class, stable income parents, so they don't have a care in the world. Mommy makes them their grilled cheese every night, tucks them into bed, and then makes them pancakes in the morning and gets their lunchbox ready for school. They don't have a care or a worry in the world. And they're just desperate to feel like they're a part of something. So they see this silly game that they love to play, and they just jump into it. and that's all it is. That's what this is. These aren't adults. These aren't adults. These are all a bunch of free-to-play leechers who don't actually give a shit. Who cares? And I know that that's what China thinks too. China literally has it in the terms of service of the game that these kinds of complaints will fall on deaf ears, which I think is a fantastic policy, to be honest.
Anyways, let's look at their...
But it can backfire. Like, if a woke game company did that, then they're basically saying that we don't care about, anything that you say. It's like, well, you should care about customer feedback, case by case. But I think that their policy is, like, specific issues like this, like accusations of, like, basically political correct complaints, will be disregarded. I think that's literally in their TOS, which is base as fuck. I can't believe it. These people are so fucking annoying and awful that they have me rooting for the Chinese. That's how bad. That's how fucking just unappealing these annoying Twitter freaks are. I'm making you hungry. Oh, you can hear me. I'm sorry. Going further, they are dysfunctional failures. Yeah, they 100% they are.
Do section. The first thing they encourage you to do is review bomb Genshin Impact in Hoyoverse games. That's interesting because normally Twitter is very against review bombing. When we see games getting review bombed by players who are upset with the content, typically people on Twitter say that's a bad thing and they shame you for doing it. But all of a sudden now it's okay. But they also say like and retweet. Yes, help boost this account into the algorithm. You guys should do the same thing with this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is a very, very serious thing I'm talking about here. They also say, share posts from us, share posts from Black, Indigenous, people of color, spread the word, tell a friend, encourage others to speak up. Now,
I'm speaking about it. I was encouraged by the Offensive Charm podcast to speak up about it. I am doing my part. I am a part of the boycott. I am a proud speaker upper. Against these retards.
Say, imagine telling like your coworker about this situation, but let's be honest, the people boycotting this game would be more appropriate to say like their classmates.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Like, imagine telling
100%.
your classmate to join in on this boycott. Like, it's absolutely goofy, but this gets even worse. So down here it says respond to surveys, send complaints.
Again, these are the people. These people don't pay anything, and they don't engage in the economy of the game at all. They're just freeloader children. Maybe on their birthday, daddy, lets them use $15 off of daddy's credit card, to buy a skin for their favorite, waifu or whatever the fuck it is. But that's about it. Like, they don't contribute. These people aren't contributing to the actual monetization of the game.
Customer support. And this part is wild. Sign the linked petition and contact your local politicians.
Hey, you! Can you imagine calling a local senator and being like, can you get on the phone with China and tell them that they are culturally appropriating an African religion? And they need to stop disrespecting all them people that I've never met. And then the senator's going to be like, click. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I have 500 person riots at skate rinks to deal with. Shut the fuck up.
They want you to contact your local politicians over this new region in Genshin Impact and the skin tone of the characters contained within it. Please be serious. And if there are people like hate watching this video who are involved in this boycott, let me tell you something with true sincerity here. Please do not waste your time contacting these local politicians and wasting their time and resources on something like this. First of all,
I'll call them early in the morning, when they don't have so much on their plate. And just a couple of you, I want you to do it, and I want you to record it, and I want you to release it. Please, I want that recording. I want a Impact not enjoyer on the phone complaining to a U.S. senator about the skin tone of the characters in the game. I want to hear that conversation play out. I would love to cover that. Do it.
Well, they're gonna have no idea what you're talking about. They're gonna be completely confused, and they're just gonna basically close out of your email. But on top of that, there are infinitely more important things going on in the world right now that'd be worth your local politician's time,
like 500
more
person
than
riots
this.
at Spear
Okay,
Rings.
just be serious for a second. And they also say down here, post in the official Hoyoverse account comments, mute/block trolls. So this whole thing about posting in the official Hoyoverse accounts, that just boosts their posts in the algorithm. You're actually helping them by doing this. But let's move on to the don't section. So it says, don't make any additional purchases, don't participate in giveaways, don't participate in the Hoyoverse's economic flow.
That's easy for this
battle
group.
passes, all this stuff.
And
then also don't harass/threaten voice actors, artists, or any content creator. Yeah, you guys think they're gonna stay true to their word right here about not harassing content creators?
Come at me. I will absolutely monetize haters. Do it. Come after me. Come after my 69 sub ass. Come after me, motherfuckers. See what happens.
I guarantee that's going to be violated very quickly when people see content creators they don't like making fun of this boycott. But they also say, don't send threats to customer support, don't interact with racists, and don't speak over people who are indigenous/affected. Okay, so this is getting clowned on by a lot of people, and I think this...
all those indigenous Africans who are playing Genshin Impact. Yeah, don't talk over them, chat. Don't be a dick. Stay at your place on the totem pole. You know better. Be better. Funny number sub. I know. I have made it, Umbra. I have made the funny number sub.
This screen capture right here by Hero Hey really sums up everything going on and the level of seriousness behind this boycott. So this individual says, wait, I'm sorry, but what does calling my local politician do exactly? Where this user says, someone brought up the option of communities whose culture Natlin is appropriating to contact their leaders so they can raise the issue of Hoyo hurting cultures and communities of people to the Chinese government. They want you. They think this is going to actually work. They want you to go to your local politicians and complain about what's happening in Genshin Impact. So then the local politicians can go to the United States government, and then the United States government will contact the Chinese government to say that these Genshin Impact players are upset.
No. Take it to the UN. All the way up to the top, baby. I want a 12-year-old Genshin Impact enjoyer on the floor of the UN complaining about the skin tones of the characters in the Natland region. Do it. You go win your boycott. I love this so much.
Are we serious right now? Are we serious? I'm also seeing a lot of users bringing up the Genshin Impact TOS, and there's actually a section that says this. We cannot guarantee that you will not encounter content that you consider offensive or otherwise inappropriate, and we accept no liability for any failure to remove or delay in removing any such content. They basically say if you're upset about the themes of this fictional setting, we don't take responsibility for it, and you have to basically remove yourself from this situation. And
I could appreciate that, honestly. I can appreciate that, but I could also see that being anti customer feedback. But again, I have a feeling that the Chinese, I have a feeling that they actually crafted that specifically to tell the Baizhou to go fuck off. I think that's specifically what it's there for. It's there specifically to tell Western politically correct leftists to pound sand. That's what I think it's for.
In fact,
because they know it's coming. You know, they know that they're the ones who are going to complain.
There is in-game dialogue from Genshin Impact over and over again reminding players that this is a fictional setting with fictional characters and none of this is real. That's how sad this portion of the community is they have to be constantly reminded that this is a fictional setting and not supposed to be representative of real-life human beings.
The Thermians. I just realized they're Thermians. Do you remember Galaxy Quest, the Tim Allen movie that's like a parody of Star Trek? The alien race in that movie, they're called Thermians. And the whole premise of the alien race is that they have no concept or understanding of deception and lying. So they see, like, everything that they see, whether it be like in front of them with their own two eyes or like through a video screen, everything that they see they think is real. And so they mistake the show as real, which is how, like, kind of like the whole premise of the movie. But the whole point is that they literally can't understand the concept of fiction versus reality because fiction is deception technically, and they literally don't have a concept for that. And that's what these people are. They're fucking Thermians. What? That's so wild. What a reference. Hell yeah. Baja, I haven't heard that story in almost 10 years. It's true though. They let Anita on the UN floor. That's what inspired me. I thought of Anita and I was like, if they let Anita complain about Gamergate on the floor of the UN, then they should let a 14-year-old from bumfuck middle school complain about Genshin Impact skin tones on the floor of the UN. I want to see it. I want to see it happen, especially since the UN is very Chinese influenced. They not see Star Trek and things the actors are actual space heroes. Yeah, it's actually a really good movie. Galaxy Quest. Highly recommend Galaxy Quest.
And I'm seeing more posts from this account saying this. Disappointing to see that the Hoyoverse's new #Genshin Impact characters still lack authentic cultural representation. Our call for diversity and respect in gaming continues. Join us in demanding better. And of course, they're quoting Genshin Impact here. And all this does is promote the post that they're quoting.
Totally.
It's just promote.
They just turn every deity into a waifu. Like, they're just trying to make it fun. Like, get the stick out of your ass. Again, put the phone down and go play soccer.
Odin,
Jesus.
This new character. Like, a lot of people wouldn't even have seen this new promotion if it wasn't for this quote. It's so backwards. And I've seen other accounts joining in on this boycott saying stuff like this. Not quote retweeting Genshin because I don't want them to get more engagement. Okay, fair. But they say this: do not let Kava's rerun distract you from the Hoyoverse's colorism. Do not let the new characters' drip marketing distract you from the Hoyoverse's racism. Look at how pasty pale they are. Speak up. On top of all that, again,
God, these people
no mention of
so much
discontinuing your Genshin Impact account. There's no mention of stopping playing this game.
Also, it's funny that they use the word colorism instead of racism first. Because remember, they made up colorism as their own version of racism. So it's like, the whole thing, it's like, well, we're allowed to be racist because we're black. You know? We just don't call it racism, we call it colorism. But it's literally just racism. But they distinguished it because in their dumb little ideology, black people can't be racist. Minorities in general of any kind can't be racist. But they can be colorist, which is just racism. Because they're all retards.
They just have to remind people to not buy new stuff. It's crazy. They can't give it up. They accuse Hoyoverse of colorism and racism, but they can't stop playing the game.
I think that's why. Because they realize, like, we're not really contributing to the economy anyway, so playing the game doesn't hurt or help them. So we might as well just keep playing the thing that we like to play.
It's crazy. But also I saw some other very wild claims. So some people are claiming that other Hoyoverse games actually do have some diversity. However, they're disappointed that Genshin Impact does not have the same. And they say this: it shocks me how such a pro-LGBTQ plus company can be so colorist. Do better, Hoyoverse.
Wow. Every sentence in there is a cringe leftist buzzwords. Colorist and do better. Just, again, the moralizing is so fucking insufferable from these weirdos. It's also fucking hilarious at this point. I'll always remember Galaxy Quest as the movie where Monk gets it on with a squid. Tim Allen tries to be Buzz Lightyear, and Snape plays a depressed Spock. I mean, yeah, basically. To be fair, at this point, racism does simply apply to the color of your skin. There's no actual racial indicators people care about other than that. Oh yeah, I mean, it's the whole ideology is literally skin deep. You know, it it shocks me how such a pro LGBT. Do they actually think that Hoyoverse, a Chinese company, is super pro LGBTQ? That's press X to doubt on that one. Like, they know that their audience is primarily male, and they're making a bunch of waifus for men. That doesn't sound very LGBTQ? Sorry.
Person is claiming that Hoyoverse is a pro LGBTQ plus company. That is a very wild claim. And then there's some infighting on that. So some Genshin Impact players are saying, well, hold on a second. They're not pro
They're not even agreeing with each other on that
They're
one.
They're actually queer baiting with their characters. So apparently that's another issue going on in the Genshin Impact scene. But this is another person clowning at saying, gun to the back of your head, name 5 Hoyoverse characters that are LGBTQ. Yeah, pretty honest, but this whole situation is wild. This is a ridiculous situation. I cannot believe the level of attention all this has gotten because of the complexion of some of these characters from a fictional region in a fictional setting. It's wacky. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, this boycott will end eventually once people get bored and they'll continue playing Genshin Impact. But feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Rev. Oh my god. The whole boycott is just like... I could have sworn the left were like really good at boycotts. But man, they've gotten lazy in recent years, haven't they? Like, they suck at it now. Not only that, but I think companies are starting to wise up to the fact that, like, hey, these people are weirdo, insane retards, and we can just not listen to them. You know, just go about our business. Literally. Hey guys, this is your Wandering Helmsman. Thanks for coming aboard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more, you can watch my news and reaction live streams every Saturday where I stream these videos live, or come on board with me on my various adventures in gaming throughout the week. All streams are at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I hope to see you again on the next voyage. This has been your Wandering Helmsman speaking. Over and out.